everybody.
Yeah. Okay, we finna go live. You should see it dictate that we are live. Do you see it up there? It says, we're live.
I see it.
We're live, darling.
We're live. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, we finna go live. Okay, wait. You should see it. My stream was playing in the background. So for whoever was just listening right now, they were like, wait, I thought I heard it. You did, I'm sorry. My stream was playing. It's called technical difficulties. But we back. Welcome to today's episode of Black Quarantine.
Don't I know about technical difficulties?
Hello. Guys, I don't think I've ever been this excited because I have my sis on with me tonight for Black Quarantine Report, Miss Metchi. And thank you for saying yes. And I want people to get used to seeing us together, darling.
Ooh, are they ready, honey? I don't think that they're ready.
I'm not sure that they're ready, but we're going to give it to them anyway. So
why not? Why not? Because what else are we doing? Okay. What else?
Because we're so busy leaving the house and doing everything else.
We're busy going outside. Not really.
So everyone, welcome to today's episode of Black Quarantine Report. I know that we're usually a lot more serious, but I'm going to tell you. I talked to Metchi tonight and I was like, look, we're going to relax a little bit tonight. And it's because
let's shake our shoulders.
Yeah, we're gonna shake those shoulders. It's been a little
shaking
intense.
Our shoulders.
The pandemic has been intense. The quarantine has been intense. The news has been intense. I believe today, which is April the 16th, because a lot of you will be watching this in the future, President Trump has released a plan as to how to open back up the nation. I mean, y'all, it's been stressful. So I wanted to bring my sis on because we're comfortable with each other. We'll be able to talk about this thing and be real, but we'll also be able to be relaxed. I think that I really want us to discuss while we're being honest and we're on here and I have someone that knows me, just like the level of anxiety and things like that all of us have kind of been dealing with because of this, you know?
That's right.
So the way that I usually do this on Black Quarantine Report is I always start off by saying, I want you to introduce yourself to the people. I know who you are very well, but if you miss a couple titles, I'll fill in.
Okay. Well, I am Demetria Miss Metchi Brown. I am the owner of the Blueprint Media Company and the host of the Blueprint Radio, as well as Corporate Chronicles. I'm a media personality, professional brand ambassador, content creator, and also event management specialist. I have over 12 years of operational experience that I have taken and put into my business to help other small businesses, artists, different people that I can to better market and promote themselves and come up with sound operational practices to make them a constant moving forward. So that's a little bit about me. Do a little bit of it all.
So what I want to let people know in regards to that the great thing about Metchi in regards to what she does is she's able to be that perfect bridge between urban, street, and corporate, and being able to marry those two where it's still urban and trendy and chic, but it's still corporately acceptable and you're still following the proper processes and procedures. And Metchi is a beast, you guys. Quick intro to tell you, go check her feature out. It'll be on Black Girl Biz Club tomorrow because we're featuring you over there too, because I mean, you're you know? So
thankful. Thank you.
Good. And congratulations on the new setup. It looks amazing in the studio. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It looks great. Now, usually when I do the show, I kind of do it in 3 parts. The first part, I like to talk to the person about their personal experience in regards to the pandemic, how it unfolded for them. Um,
Okay.
and I'm cheating a little bit because I know, so I have to act surprised when you tell me, some of this. But
Yeah.
if you can relay your kind of personal account of what happened, and also at what point you began to take it a little more serious.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've always taken it pretty serious. My job as far as in operations is to look at like statistics and the analytics of things. So when I saw how quickly things were unfolding, it alarmed me immediately. I still work a 9 to 5. I am a corporate office manager. I've got over 400 plus clients that I take care of on a day-to-day basis, both in office as well as virtual. That's what I do outside of the Blueprint Media Company. So it became a little bit more closer to home the day that I went to work and I was furloughed. Um,
Ooh,
typically with larger businesses and corporations, the heavy hitters are pretty much X'd out at the top because it costs more for you to do the same stuff that they could pay somebody else pennies on the dollar to do. So that was my experience with it. As a result, it has been a tremendous amount of growth on my personal business
yes.
with the Blueprint Media Company. I've had a lot more time to dedicate to my craft, creating better shows, which
All right, you paused
a
on
little
me,
bit more.
girl. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I've been able to do that and get a little bit more time in with that. So that's really been my experience. It's like now I'm here, I'm at home, and it's given me the time that I didn't really have because I did work a corporate job to
Yeah. Yeah.
delve deep into my business and kind of those things I had on the front lines there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And as your friend from the outside looking in, what I love about this opportunity for you and this experience for you is that all of the effort and time that you have been putting into your job, you've been
Mhm.
able to take and pivot that to your business. And,
Correct.
and I think that um you have been able to see an amazing return on your investment almost immediately, just based on views and interaction and engagement and people supporting and being there for you. It's been awesome to see. Now I'm going to ask you a lot of specific questions because what you just did, girl, you summed up the whole show in one pretty little. I love women like you.
Oh
No,
no.
you're fine. So listen. So
I'm
listen.
sorry.
No, you're fine, because this is what we're going to do. I want to talk about your experience, the effects, and then how to make lemonade. But as we keep going through this, I want you to not only talk about it from your perspective.
Mhm.
I'm going to, because you're you, I want for us to make some suggestions to people today. I want people, when they finish watching this episode, um,
Okay.
be
Makes
inspired to move different, you know? Um,
okay.
so in regards to your personal experience, I want to go back and touch on a few things that you talked about there. First, I want to talk about work. I want to talk about work. I want to talk about jobs. And you have been furloughed like a lot of us. I've been furloughed as well.
Yeah,
And it shakes your foundation. Let's
it
say that.
does.
It shakes your foundation. It removes a expectation that you kind of really had,
It sure does.
you know what I mean? But with that, how were you how did this experience affect the people around you as well, if that makes sense? Husband,
Right.
family. I know that you take care of a lot of family members. Your family unit is very familial unit. You see your family all the time. How has
Often.
it affected that?
Well, I mean, it's no secret. People that know me, they know that like my dad has MS, so I was very fearful still to be in the workforce before I was furloughed, and possibly risk taking that to him. I
Yeah.
have a grandfather who he has different, health complications and things going on as well. And I try to go get my rounds and visit with them and, talk to them. So I did take a couple weeks and I stayed home. And then finally I was like, I just couldn't take it no more. I'm like, I'm going to see my dad. I don't care what anyone says,
Yeah.
But really to just check on them and make sure that they had everything they needed.
Yeah. Now,
so it's just taking that time. And, of course I made sure I was all clean.
Right? She was like, I'm disinfected before I go over here. And I can relate to that because I shared
all down to the top.
Right? I shared with a couple of people on other shows, and you're aware because you know me personally, I do live with my older parents. And it's a big fear because it takes it from another level of you being worried about you.
Yeah.
To you then being worried about everyone around you. You know what I'm saying? But you know
That's
what?
right. That's right.
I'm inspired right now on this show for us to be as open as you're comfortable enough being, because I do want to take advantage with the fact that I have you on the show and I'm very comfortable with you. Let's talk a little bit about how you have been handling and I'm going to do the same, the anxiety of this thing, the uncertainty of this thing. I think that within the past month, I've experienced more emotions than I was aware I could have at one time. You know what I'm saying? How you been dealing with this? How have you been going from today to tomorrow to the next day without pulling your wig off all the time?
Well, she gets pulled off now. No, I'm just joking. This is the thing. I am, I'm very faith based. So I'm just, I just believe that, God is going to take care of me. And, I'm just like, all I can do is do what I can to be safe and to stay off of the front lines, to let people that are the important folks, the nurses, the doctors, the firefighters, the policemen, to let them be out here doing what they need to do. I am a law abiding citizen, so I'm staying my butt in the house. But definitely just the operational part of me keeps a schedule and everything. So I still, my body is still accustomed to waking up in the morning as if I still have to go to work. So I utilize that time to, take care of business. I am taking a nap throughout the day. I recommend an adult nap for anyone. Take that time off. If you're going to be working and all that other stuff, allow your mind and your spirit to just rest a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah. There's so many directions that I could go with this or whatever, but I want to talk about the effects a little bit. Initially, were you nervous as an entrepreneur or small business owner? Were you initially nervous about how this was going to affect your business?
Of course, if there's no revenue and different things that's going on, people naturally cannot, delight in your services. So I thought about it, but this is the thing. I have a unique position that I'm in where it's like I have a platform where I can speak. So if I can use my voice to stay at home, shelter in place, do the right thing, and then provide laughter and entertainment and that emotion that's needed to get through this time. That's what I feel like my purpose is at this particular moment, is to promote those that may have a more difficult time than versus your large corporation during a time like this.
Surviving during a time like that. Yeah. And for people who are not unfamiliar or haven't watched the show, I encourage them to go watch some old episodes because Thursdays be lit, okay? And here's the thing. Before everything happened, Thursdays were always lit. But it's very important that you pulled that out because you have been a source of something to look forward to in the midst of all of this. It's been knowing that there was something to look forward to.
Really?
Your show is going to be good. People going to be in the comments acting up. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's going to be a whole vibe, a whole experience.
Have a good time.
Like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be sipping wine, you're gonna make me go pour up a glass with you. It's a whole experience. And it's really important during this time for people to understand you have to detach sometimes. You can't leave the news on all the time. You can't be scrolling the news websites all the time. Sometimes you have to unplug and you have to let your hair down. And I
That's
think
right.
that every Thursday from 6 to 8 is like, I personally have put it in my schedule. Like, this is my let down my hair time, because that's what I do. Like, it naturally happens. You know what I'm saying? You got your glass of wine, and I'll be like, well, I mean, since she got her glass of wine, I'ma just go and get mine. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a very encouraging thing. I want to commend you, because as I ask you these questions, um, I I would be remiss not to say that there are a lot of different type of people, but there's a certain type of person where during this point in time, they skip over the negative and they get right to the heart of the opportunity. They get right to the heart of the
That's
possibility.
right.
They get right to the heart of what solutions can I create. And
Yeah.
even as I ask you these questions about your experience, even when you recall your experiences, you weren't in a place where you were like, I was woe is me for 2 weeks. No, you picked up and you did what you had to do. How would you encourage people that that's not their norm? That's not normally what they do. How would you encourage them
Mhm.
to be strong during a time this hard?
This is the thing. I don't believe in propelling someone that's not ready at that moment, because they're going to only just start over.
Mm, mm.
Be to, if you have a goal in mind, or if you have something that you're trying to do, rather than jumping directly into it, create the plans and processes that you need so that you can actually be successful. So
Yeah,
if every day, if you're using one day out of the quarantine to research a process, to start a website, or to lock down a social media page or a domain, or whatever it is that you feel like you need
yeah.
to do to get things secured, do something at least once a day. Start with just one thing, even if
One
it's just like
productive thing.
one productive thing that you can do, and that will kind of help, where it's like, the next day you'll be like, well, I got time to do two things now. And
Yeah,
now we got to day three, and I can do three things. So,
yeah,
just let every day be an increase. You don't have to jump head first. There's only a small percentage of us that are going to just continue to keep going like nothing really happened. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But everyone is not like that, and we have to respect those people and still love and support them the same.
yeah.
So yeah, just take it a step at a time, but know when there needs to be an increase. So when it's time to amp it up,
You
don't be
gotta
afraid to amp it
know.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Because here's my thing. I in regards to that, it makes me nervous because I want to leave room, of course, for people to grieve and do and operate how they see fit. But I fear people using this pandemic, and I'm not even gonna just say people. We about to unwrap a whole topic right here. I fear people, businesses, corporations, etc. I fear the pandemic being used as an excuse to do or not do things that are not necessarily to the full benefit. You understand what I'm saying? So on a personal level, I feel like I see people that kind of are using this as an excuse to not do anything. You understand what I'm saying? I see companies use this as an
This
excuse.
is the thing, Kim. This
You repeat that for me.
right. No, I was just gonna say that, this is the thing. Unfortunately, there are gonna be a lot of people that don't want to do something. And I preach this on the Blueprint Radio. Worry about yourself. Okay. So if within worrying about yourself, if you got a couple people that they're trying to
You paused
that's
on me.
gonna
There we
stop
go.
what you got going on.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't have to,
yeah,
So it's like, so for me, yeah, I'm not worried about what they doing over there, what they not doing over there, because I don't care. I'm only concerned about what it is that I'm doing, me and my affiliates that actually want to make some shape. If somebody tell me I need some time, I don't want to do anything, can you please back off? I'm backing all the way off, and I'm gonna focus on my stuff.
Now I
So
want to dig in here because One of my guests last week said something really similar. His name was Mike Jones. And I asked Mike, I said, Mike, how do we reach out to the people within the Black community that, and we were talking a lot about the Black community and some of the accountability that we have to take, okay? And I said, well, how do we reach out to the people in the Black community,
Okay.
that are not trying to hear it? How do we get them? And he said something really powerful, and he said, you don't. You get the people who are ready for what's there. And I find that same thread in what you just said. Now, I have a question for you, and I wish that I could ask him. I'm probably going to ask him later because this brought this out for me. So when we say, okay, it's not for everybody, it's for those people, how do you find, or how in life have you found that you find those like-minded people? Like me and you understand what I'm saying? How do you find those like-minded people, and how do you identify who ready and who, you know what I'm saying?
It's a little bit difficult because you have a lot of people out here that'll say that they're ready to do something, but realistically, they're probably not. I have a lot of the relationships that I've had lately have happened organically. So it'll just be, we're in the same space at the right time and we talk and we have the right conversation. You and I had a conversation earlier about being able to discern who is there and who is not for you. So whether if you're faith-based or, whatever way that you seek discernment, before you engage with anyone, whether they're trying to motivate you, coach you, get payments, not get payments, whatever, you want to be able to discern if it's the opportunity for you. So whatever your process is that you do, you want to have that in order first, to really get everything, because it's like, if you don't have that root of everything together, anything that comes from it that sprouts is going to be some craziness. So
because the foundation wasn't steady.
Exactly. So, I hope that answers your question. I can't really speak. My process is going to look different from somebody else's
process,
but it's similar to the quote, and I'm going to read it to you here.
Yeah.
The one that I just talked about.
On the show.
Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough.
Yeah.
How strong are you?
Yeah.
And if you're not strong, how open are you to seek the help that you need to get stronger?
And to identify what it is that's holding you back from being at that level. Now, I want to pull out of this rabbit hole and keep the same aspect, but I would love to apply it to our community as a whole. I think that right now, the Black community in America is in a very fragile time, and we're not even, we don't even realize. And when I say fragile, I don't necessarily mean fragile like it's going to break, but I mean fragile like it's delicate, because so many of the playing fields have been evened for us to possibly catch up right now. You feel me? I want to talk about the community as a whole, and what do you think the Black community as a whole can do to come out of this thing a little bit better than we were as a whole when we came into it? You know what I'm saying? Look, you look like you're processing, or are you froze? Oh, she done froze, y'all.
Are you still here?
There we go. I'm here.
I'm not sure what happened there. I'm sorry.
No, I thought she was waiting for the rest of the question. I was like,
I did.
She surely is thinking a long time.
So I was waiting for the question, and then the live is snapped out. I did hear your question. You said, what can we all do basically to pull together during this time? I think that we have to have the people, our Black people that know a lot, being in a place willing to spread that knowledge to others.
It's time. The Black leaders got to lead.
Another fellow Black person, but everyone isn't so willing to do so. And I'm sure that you ran into people like that in your time. They're not willing to spread the love and spread the knowledge. A lot of our lack of being behind comes from a lack of knowledge and not having access to the resources to better equip ourselves. I bet you that bankrupt loan that you know, it's no longer available for small businesses. We probably had a lot of, I would love to see the statistics on that in
How
terms of
many of us?
did we have enough resources to be able to get a chunk of that?
Yeah.
And we are the businesses that are most affected. So it comes down to knowledge. There are some people that are well versed in grants and all of the things that can really probably help assist us to lift us up. But if everyone is so like, it's gonna be $500 to do this, you know,
Yeah.
and no one, you know, and no one's willing to help, it makes it creates that gap, and the gap gets bigger every time.
I
So
love that there are so many threads in this conversation that I've talked about on this show with other people. And the reason I love that is because it's giving us, in my opinion, a bigger picture of the Black community in regards to the things. It's getting down to the crux of what we need to do to get better.
that's right.
And
That's
one
right.
thing that I repeatedly hear, and especially the episode that I had with Nikita, and you hit on it and you don't even realize that you guys were saying the same thing. It's so important for us to be willing to help, willing to spread, willing to not say, well, how many times have we met people that said, I researched this and I learned this, and I'm not going to tell you because you need to do the research that I did to learn this. So I'm not going to share this information. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's so dynamic to pull from both of you guys in two separate interviews the same thing, where it's saying right now one of the biggest things that we as Black people can do is spread our knowledge, our resources, our gifts to as many other Black folks as we can. And there you go. You back?
I'm back.
You over your internet connection?
I don't think that it was that this time. I've got all my bars. So to everyone that's looking in and tuning in, my apologies. I'm having some technical issues at the Blueprint Media Company today, but I'm back.
What are you apologizing for? Like you are tech issues. Like they ain't never seen no tech issues before. Okay, listen. At least tonight's show came on pretty much on time. Okay, because a couple nights, girl. Whew.
Hey, I'm here for you. I respect what you've got going on, but you know, Kim, it is about that being open and being willing. You know, and I wish that more people would be like that. Because for me, yes, you're right. People should pay some type of stipend for the one that went and did all the research. Now, I do believe that, but I don't have $1,000 for you to learn this stuff. Like there's this guy on Facebook, Kim. I can't think of his name right now, and I won't even try to look it up. But I think that he's got an amazing course. And I clicked on the link and I was like, oh, this is for. If I'm a new business and I'm a small business, I may not have that up front.
Yeah.
Who has that?
Yeah. It's so funny that you said that, because where my mind is going with it or whatever, I want to charge the Black folks that are listening. Based on what you said, here's the reality of the matter. The same way that we go to food depositories to volunteer, the same way that we go to, Salvation Armies to volunteer, we can volunteer from home, and we can donate and volunteer to our fellow Black people. You understand what I'm saying? If you can and you ain't hurting, donate your service, donate your course to Black communities that it will help. You understand what I'm saying? Donate your ebook to Black communities that if you know they're going to read it, it's going to make a difference. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nikita is going to be doing $5 holla courses. Give back. She's Nikki. She can charge whatever she wants to, but she's giving back. You understand what I'm saying? To further equip the community. And I think if there's any thread that we can pull from these interviews thus far, it's that as Black people, we have to be here for each other right now. And I would charge.
Right. It happens in other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It does. And unfortunately, it's frowned upon in our community, and it's very sad to see.
Yeah. It's so funny how other communities, And you, I would love to hear your input on this, because I know that you work in a downtown area that's really very diverse. You know what I'm saying? It's funny when I watch other communities and
Mm-hmm.
cultures, and they live and depend, and part of their foundation is supporting their culture. Part of their foundation is like, yo, if I see you and you're whatever nationality, or I see you and you're whatever, I got your back no matter what. You know what I mean? And it's like,
That's
I'm
right.
just, what is it about us that we have deemed the opposite of each other when we see each other? What is it about our culture that when we see another Black person, you know?
What can I mean? So do we want to take it back to the Willie Lynch syndrome, or how far
Come
back do
on.
you want to go?
Yeah.
Because it was inbred in us very, very early on, years and years ago, to have these um negative connotations with each other, light skin versus dark skin. I mean, let's really talk about it. That's the dynamics. This was embedded in us to, excuse me, to kind of like, oh no, they not on nothing. We put each other down from the start, even when we didn't even have anything. So we didn't even have freedom at that point.
Mm,
It's a mindset. It's a mindset of, I got to get ahead before you. I can't share with you because this mine's. Um, it dates back to times before we can even really get into. That's just my opinion. I mean, and unfortunately, when you have generational type of mindsets, that passes on. It continues to amplify the longer that it goes. So that's personally my thoughts on it. It's been in our communities a long time ago that we can't trust one another, and that we can't love and uplift one another because we've always been taught to do it to somebody else. But that's a real Black history moment that I won't even, like you say, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
well, I got a question for you though. How do we as people balance understanding that you just said, and having some kind of hope for a positive direction for us as a culture? Do you understand what I'm saying? How do we balance those two things at one time?
It's going to be people like us that are using our platform to have those taboo conversations about it,
Like
and
this?
really, yeah, and really opening up, the minds of others and seeing what it is that we can do. It's going to start. We have to communicate with each other. We have to let the other person know, hey, I'm not hating on you. I actually admire you. You know what I'm saying? We have to start having some of those conversations, because if you don't trust someone, it's
Yeah.
going to be very hard to connect with that person. So we have to kind of break down some things that have been within our community for quite some time, in
Yeah.
order to really get down to, how can we all progress together. We got to take care of some of the issues and clean house a little bit,
Yeah.
and then it will make that environment a little bit more where we can support each other.
I love this. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. And the reason I'm saying I love this so much is because so many of my guests have been saying similar things, which makes me know that these are the answers, because what you just said aligns perfectly with one of my past guests. Mushim Su said if there was any charge she would leave us with, she would leave that every Black family that's quarantined together would build their familial unit stronger, so that when we do go back
That's
out,
right.
our
That's right.
foundation is stronger as
That's
individual
right.
units. You know what I'm saying? And I just find it so, like, I literally, this is crazy, like I
Correct.
kind of have chills right now, because I just find it so dynamic, because I really really feel like we're actually beginning on this show to kind of get some answers to the direction of what to do. Because when I speak to Black people from all of these different areas, all of these different age ranges, all of these different areas in life and areas of success, we all who are aligned see the same things as far as what actions need to be taken to move forward. Now I want to ask you something specific.
Exactly.
I want to ask you, I personally have noticed, and I want to know if this is something that you've noticed, if you see this too, or if maybe you have a different view of this. But if for me, it feels like when we give community charges, like Black people, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? I feel that there's a lack of
Hmm.
accountability. I've noticed that people don't hold themselves to it. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to know what you think about
Okay.
how can we begin to shift the mindset of the charges that we give our people to where it's an individual charge for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let me give you an example. I'll give you an example of a
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, give me a little bit of an
yeah.
example of that.
I'm gonna give you an example. And we do this every year at this point in America. I can't speak for other countries, but every year around Black Friday, we get mad about something or something political or whatever, and we say, don't nobody go Black Friday shopping. We all got to be on one accord, y'all. And if we pull all our dollars, it will be XYZ amount of dollars that they're not going to have, and they have to start listening to us, which is the reality of the matter, right? But then Black Friday comes every year. And we got to be honest, because I've been guilty of it a year or two, and I've followed through a year or two. But then Black Friday comes and you be like, look, I understand, but I need a new TV. And this 47 inches, $99.
Right. I want to get me a new set of blankets.
You understand what I'm saying? So using that as an example, how do we begin to more individualize these charges with the community? Because I don't feel like we have the same amount of the Montgomery bus boycott wouldn't happen right now. Because somebody would be like, well, look, I got to go to work and y'all ain't finna pay my bills. So I'm finna get on this bus. You understand what I'm saying?
The sad part about it is that unfortunately people have to see their top influencers actually living and doing right. So I think that President Obama could have got on TV and said, don't Black Friday shop because they don't like y'all and they not rocking with y'all, and they would have stayed at the house.
That's a word.
Unfortunately, it has to be the people. Unfortunately, with our community, they like to see what the people at the top are doing. So if Diddy and all of them is still going out and they getting them some stuff and they getting their Balenciagas and all of this other stuff,
and that's what we can do.
They gonna feel like they need to do the exact same thing when unfortunately that's not the case. It's just like, hey, you know what? How about we just take the stand because we're not in that 1% yet. So we got to act like the 99 and stick together. It's got to be a mind shift type of thing. I don't know, honestly, Kim, how it's going to happen. All that I can continue to do is just continue to keep on with my mission and then try to empower others that are around me to be more of an influence too. Where it's like right now, I'll be honest with you, since we've been down, I've bought from all small businesses.
Yeah.
You know, down to, and I always supported them, but of course I would go to your local Walmart and different things like that too. But I'm going to the local places because those are the ones that they need our support right now. Target don't need our support. Walmart don't need our support right now. You know what I'm saying? And nothing against them, but there is not a need. And if people could, if we could even just for a third of the year go where there was a need versus where there was a want, there could be some changes. But it's just like,
or convenience.
Yes. And it's just like, if anything, you know, we could pull together and if we could make a Black Walmart, you know what I'm saying? Like if we could do different things like that, where it's just like, we can put ourselves in that, that range along with those larger corporations, it would help better suit us too.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. Now that we're talking about this, I'm very curious because this is a part of a conversation. I can't remember who I touched on this with, but you're hitting something, and I want to pull this in and get your input on it. It was Nikita, and she talked about when we do get the Black Walmarts, the big Black brands, a lot of times we sell them, and we sell them for less than they're worth because for whatever reason, we start valuing ourselves lower. The example that she used was, and I had to feel her, I'm not a hater, but I had to feel her, Carol's daughter. It meant more when it was ours. Before, you understand what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on that? When we do finally get our Black Walmarts, and I'm just going to use that as an example because we don't have an equivalent, and I don't want nobody to think we talking about anybody in particular. You know what I mean? When we do get these huge Black brands, let's use another example, our BETs. what do we then do? How do we hold the conviction as people and understand the importance of holding on to that thing?
It's tough, Kim. It's it's really, really tough to answer, because it's just like, you have to understand, like, with a lot of these questions that you're asking, there are so many things that plague and that are over that. I mean, there are companies that pray for Black businesses that have bomb products, like Carol's daughter.
That
To
look, yeah.
Yeah, they're preying on them. They just like, we got this for you, we got this for you. And just imagine, you are a small business owner, so you know times when you put in work and you ain't get the money that you deserve, and here comes somebody, they come offering something sweet, and you probably about tired at that point. You just like, look,
I've been doing this for a long time and I'm tired.
my time is coming. I'm finna sell this. I'm not gonna keep doing this because it's too much.
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard because
That's
it's such an individual experience.
Yeah, that is so heavy. I love that you gave another perspective to that, because so many times we point the finger, but a lot of times we got to put ourselves in the shoes of the people, and we don't know what their
That's right.
journey has looked like, because also I want to say and insert, I do think that there is something to be said about building a Black business up enough to where it's attractive enough to be bought. You understand
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? I don't want to take that away from it, because in order for a Black business to even be offered $1 million, 10 million, whatever, there was work.
Girl.
There was groundwork that was
Yes.
put in there.
Yes.
And seeds that were sown throughout the community that I think that I wasn't considering it. After you said what you said, brought, to my mindset, I would be remiss not to say, using a Carol's daughter, for example, using a BET, for example, even if at that point a shift happened, think about all of the seeds that were planted along the way in regards to the growth of the Black culture. You understand what I'm saying? The Black creatives that were paid along the way. You understand what I'm saying? There's still something to be said for our growth. And I love that you said that, and I love that you responded that way, because I'm gonna call myself out as one of these people, and talking to you now has gotten me here. There are a lot of us who beat up on the Black community and just talk about how far we have to go, how far we have to go, how far we have to go, how much we have to do, how much we have to do. And I think that there's a lot of us that don't spend enough time honoring what we have already done.
Yeah.
And I call myself out on that. I think that it's great to be concerned about the growth of the Black community, but I think that there's definitely something to be said about how much energy are we putting into honoring the great things. You understand what I'm saying? The great side of it, because there's always two sides to it. Like we just talked about the Black Walmart situation. You know what I mean? I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
I really want to say that, because I think that today, for this show in particular, you represented a voice of hope within the community, discussing our community with a voice of disappointment, if that makes sense. And I don't even think I realized before I was having this conversation with you. You understand what I'm saying? But I think that you represent what we as a people need to do more actively.
Empathy is needed at this time. Our projections and what it is that we have going on is not something that we can put on other people, because all of our journeys are unique. So I'm not mad at the person that just got laid off and they're sitting on their butt and they're not doing anything right now, because they may be mentally and emotionally needed that break. But I'm also not mad at the person like myself, like you, that's going for it. And we just are not letting this downtime deter us from our original goals that we set before COVID-19 came and took over.
Yeah.
I'm not judging either way. It's not my place. Anyone that wants to be a part of the revolution will be a part of it. We know that no matter what's going on, whether it's within the Black community or other communities, the people that want to step up and be a part of the change will step up and be a part of the change. So, we just, all we can do on our side, having the platforms that we have and doing what we need to do, is just continue to try to encourage others and get them on the same page of where they need to be, because it's just like, hey, we don't have to keep going on like this.
Yeah. That this is so heavy and it's so enlightening, and I want to make sure that whoever's watching this, if you are that person that had that mindset more like me, where it's like, for real,
I don't need it.
you know what I'm saying? But for real, take heed to what Demetria has said, because empathy, and if we take that and we apply that not only to the big picture, but the little picture too, you might need to apply that to some of the relationships in your life.
That's right.
You might need to apply that to some of the people that you're upset with about this COVID-19 thing, for real. And you like, how dare you make XYZ choice? You don't know. We don't know what made them make their choices.
That's right.
We know what made us make our choices, and our choices are right for us, but we don't know what made them make their choices. And
those choices for themselves.
That is powerful. That is powerful. I think that as a Black community, we got to stop beating up on each other. We got to stop.
We got to take the gloves off
as a whole.
People. Do the gloves to the other people that's not doing right by you, and they do that, and they sitting up collecting these fat salaries and doing all this other stuff. Turn your anger to them. Get it out of your own community. That's the number one thing. Stop being mad at your fellow brother and sister. They look just like you. They got the same problems and the same things that you have going on. Work with them. If you got more than the next person, instead of sitting up there talking about them because they ain't got on Gucci, Louis, and all that other stuff, show them the means of how you got what it is that you got.
And here's the thing.
It ticks me off because know, Kim, and you know that what we've been through as far as just within our personal journeys, we did reach up. We reached up and we tried to get help. We got unanswered emails and phone calls and DMs or whatever it was that you tried to do, and all you were trying to do was grow and reach up to the person that you saw that was doing something, and they didn't turn back and look at you. What we have to continue to do in our position, that as we grow, we have to still be in a place where we are looking back, because it's very, very important. And it's just like, that's the thing that ticks me off. It's just like the very people that'll sit up there and judge you are the ones that won't give you not one resource or even help you.
I was just going to say that it's so funny that you said that, because as you said that, and I thought about the cliche ignorant N-word that people are thinking of right now when they think, you understand what I'm saying, when they have this attitude towards the other Black folks. You know what I'm talking about when we be like, our people, oh my God, and we do all this eye rolling. The reality is, if they knew better, they would do better. So if you know better, why we sitting here talking about Gucci and da-da-da-da and what they doing over there? If you know better, why we ain't just telling them and trying to teach them and give them resources to do and be better? The same amount of energy that we're putting into saying,
right,
our people ain't doing this, our people need to step up and do this, our people need to, if we took that same amount of energy and silently didn't tell them what they needed to do, created those platforms, just taught them, just did it.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? I personally have been convicted.
Like instead of you having somebody file your kid on their taxes, how about we show you how you able to get a little bit of money back on yours too? I'm just saying, there's certain things that, like I said, it's a mindset. So if it was passed on, if your grandma did it and your mama did it, you got to do it too, because that's just how it goes as far as with that. But if there could be someone that can shift that. And like I said, I'm not saying that to disparage anyone. I'm not. But it's a real thing that we hear all the time. If they knew that, hey, if you filed your own kid, that you could get these deductions that are available to you, and this is what you could do throughout the year, and teach them. If you teach them, you can reach them. Like that's what it comes down to.
And then at that point, we can begin to hold them accountable the way we're trying to hold people accountable now. When they know better and they don't do better, then that's a different thing than they don't know better, so they're not going to do better. We can't, using us as an example, in business, there are certain things
Mm-hmm.
that we had to learn. We had to know better in order to do better. But we had to go through those things and mess those
That's
things
right.
up in order for us to understand and get that experience. You know what I'm saying? It's this has been dynamic.
Absolutely.
This has
Absolutely.
been dynamic. I feel very encouraged by I feel very encouraged because every episode I feel like we leave with a charge for the people. You know what I'm saying? And with this
Yes.
episode, the charge for the people is not for the inactive Black folks, the ones that we sit here and we think we talking about. The charge is not for them. It's usually for them. You know what I mean? The charge is usually like,
Like, don't talk to
stay
me,
home
don't
if
come
you have
complaining
this
if you
thing
ain't
home.
voted.
Huh?
If you didn't vote, you don't talk to me. Don't
You
talk
know
to
what
me
I'm
about
saying?
policies and things that you need changed if you are not registered to vote. There's just certain conversations that I'm not gonna have with certain people because they're just they have the knowledge but won't go and do nothing with it.
Yeah.
Just
I'm gonna
talk to
charge
me.
y'all
Don't
that
judge.
too. Look, I'm gonna charge y'all to do a few things. Number one, we're quarantined. It's a pandemic year. Get online and register to vote if you ain't registered to vote. You could do it from your phone, your computer, whatever. It is an election
Do it from
year.
your house.
Okay. And the other thing I'ma call us are the third, to those of us whose third eye is open. Okay. We're talking to us. Okay. Make sure that you're not in a place of judgment and you're more in a place of restoration. That's what I took from Metchi today. Make sure that if you
Yes.
are woke and you do understand and you do see the faults, make sure that you are moving from a place of love and restoration versus a place of judgment and what you
Correct.
should do. You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
appreciate you. I appreciate you.
I
I
appreciate you too.
appreciate this message to the people. I really do. I think that as a whole, we can apply this again to our personal lives. And as a whole, we have to start showing more empathy. If we're talking about the Black Quarantine Report, we're talking about us. We have to start showing more empathy towards each other and ourselves.
That's right.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Kim. Thank you for having this platform for us to really talk about the things that are holding us back within the community. I think that it is very telling, and I hope that the people that tune in that they are able to take from it what they need to. That it's time. This is the time. The world ain't gonna stop like this again, God willing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stop like this. So we have to maximize and continue to learn, love, and grow with one another during this time. So no, thank you.
That was a whole word. Oh my God. Thank you. Now listen, this is what I always do before we go. I need you to
Okay.
tell everybody to find everything that you want to tell them. You could go for 5 minutes if you want to. Every site, every social media, you tell them where to find you, what to look up. This your time, boo.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am Demetria Miss Metchi Brown. That's MZMETCHI on Facebook. I'm Miss Metchi on Instagram. If you're going to be looking for the Blueprint Media Company, you will spell that out fully on Facebook. I'm the BP Media Co. on Instagram, and you can also follow me on Twitter too. For that, you can visit my site, thebpmediaco.com, where I list my marketing and promotional services that I have available. I will have some different sites coming up soon, courtesy of my friend Kim from So Say & Co. So that's pretty much it. Definitely follow the Blueprint Media Company on YouTube, and please hit that subscribe button. I definitely subscribe back to the other channels and people that are on there. We have to support each other. Let's get this monetization going. So that's that. But on Facebook, I run watch parties of all of the shows that I've done. You can go on there to see the Facebook lives. That's where I'm broadcasting from during this time where we are quarantining and chilling. I do marketing and promotions. I have very strong affiliates such as Kim and other people that I know where, if you need a website, if you need different things going on, we can get that together. But my job is to help you be operationally excellent in all that you do. making sure that you have all bases covered and that you're not missing opportunities to better expose and generate revenue for your business. So a lot of times people just see me, they just think it's just, hey, this big hair and I'll just be on the show. But no, I help businesses and entrepreneurs with everything that they have going on. I'd love to work with you, and then have you be open to, my affiliates and different things of that sort, because all of them are the bomb, just like me. So
just like
you.
You are dynamic. You are epic. For the people that are listening, I really want you to take this opportunity, put this woman in your mental Rolodex, make sure that you are following her, make sure that you, because this dynamic woman right here, you gonna keep seeing her. So I would love for you to be one of them people that be like, man, I was on the Metchi before everybody else was. So I want y'all to go right now and follow. It's important to keep people around you that feed you, that hold you accountable, that are ludicrous enough to think how you think. And I want to publicly say I appreciate your friendship, Meech. I really do. I appreciate your friendship. I don't take you for granted. I don't think that you understand how dynamic you are. I really don't. I don't think that you understand how dynamic you are, but I stand in faith that keep pushing the way that you are, and it's going to pay off. You got it. You got it. Okay?
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate your friendship as well. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything.
You are awesome. And they just need to go ahead and get used to seeing us being around each other all the time, right? Okay?
Okay.
Honey, listen. Okay?
All right. So...
Oh yeah. Because we both love Alana and we can. Tell them about your shirt real quick before we go.
This is Slugging Apparel by my girl Alana DeVille. I am a brand ambassador for this amazing line, as well as 4 other brands that I represent. You can go and shop on alanadeville.com and use Metchi10, METCHI, for your discount for her products. So absolutely love her. She is amazing, big ball of fun.
Yes, she did a show too, so they know Alana. They done seen Alana, so y'all go back. See how we keep this circle. You see how we keep this knit together. You feel me?
It's a Chicago media conglomerate. They really not ready for that. They're
really not ready, but they ain't got no choice. They about to be ready.
Get ready.
Be ready. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Black Quarantine Report. I do want to, while I have you on, Meech, because you are my girl, so I kind of want to celebrate with you a little bit and just give people a little bit of knowledge about what's coming up. Girl, I done booked out the show for like the next week. And this coming Monday, we're going to have Danny Canada from Bossip.
Girl, I have to grab my wine.
Okay. So...
congratulations, Kim.
Thank you. So whoever is not following and liking the show, do it right now. You can go to blackquarantinereport.com. All of the social media icons are right there. They big as hell. You can't miss them. You can get to the Instagram. You can get to the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you follow both myself and Ms. Metchi online, okay? So we will see you for the next episode of Black Quarantine Report.